So this is gonna be a little bit of a different video. I've already done my makeup, so I'll let you see how horrible it looks. This is like my Thanksgiving maybe makeup look I'm gonna go with. I don't know yet. And Pete, my hat, I felt like this is a sun hat, but I felt like it reminded me of like a scarecrow. I don't know. I like it. I mean, I think it's cute, you know? Why not? I wanted to tell a spooky Thanksgiving story, and then I might show you a creepy part of my backyard, sorry, that I hate. I hate that part of my backyard, and you'll know why, because it's just creepy. It's just creepy. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you this really cool Thanksgiving paranormal story, because we're fixing to have Thanksgiving tomorrow, and it's just been a really busy week, so it was hard to do a video and then do another, like a makeup video after that. So I'm gonna do paranormal story with Thanksgiving involved today. So I hope the traffic in the background is not too annoying, but if it is, just I'm sorry. So here we go. This story, I was reading this story, and it's the name of it, I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can go to the link and check out the person that wrote it and everything. It's theirs, so you know. I want to make sure I give credit where it's due. But it's called A Feast of Terror. This is the story. Okay. I was reading this and I was like, man, this is so creepy. So, anyway, to start off, Thanksgiving, I got my little notes. Thanksgiving is a time that we get together with our family and our friends, and we have this epic dinner, and everybody eats a lot of food, so much so that you prepare and you wear your stretchy pants and all of that good stuff, right? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be family time, eating time, pigging out time. That's what it's for, right? Well, not for this family. This meal, dinner, turned into a horror, like disturbingly you would run out of your house type thing. Okay, so it starts in Oakville, Georgia. This is where it takes place. This is where the house is. It was around the 19th century, and the house is not still there, by the way, but it's one of, from what they say, it has a reputation of being extremely haunted, even more so than the local haunting spots that they have around there. This was the most extremely haunted. And the house was owned by a Mr. Walsingham and his family, and they moved for a little bit, and then it was right around, I'm gonna say before Thanksgiving, that they wanted to come back to the house and occupy it and live there for a little while. So he come back, he brought his family, they moved in, but it was like as soon as they got there, he said the presence of the home was extremely claustrophobic and heavy and dreadful, and they wasn't sure why the vibe was like that in the home, but that's just what happened. And so anyway, he moved in, and the day they were trying to get their stuff in, their dog, and he just has the cutest name. I don't know why they named their dog this, but his name was Don Caesar. That's what they named their dog, which I found, I mean, it's cute, right? So Don, we're gonna call him Don, would not go into the home. He wouldn't even go in. They had to pull him in. And the dog was emotionally disturbed, like bad. He kept barking, he kept growling, like his hair was standing up on his back. He was disturbed, like he couldn't stand being there. And it was not the first night, because I mean, if it would have happened the first night, I would have been like, no. But day and night he would just bark. He wasn't very happy, and it didn't specify when this happened, but at some point the dog was barking at a spot, and he got picked up out of the, like, in the air, and then threw backwards so hard that when he hit the ground, when the family, you know, picked him up, his neck was completely broken. So the dog was deceased at that point, you know. They had a family cat. It said they had a family cat, but the cat, it didn't say the cat's name or anything. It just said the family cat was reported to be unfazed by anything in the house. It liked being there. And cats are, I don't know. Cats are like, they sense stuff. And I found it interesting that the cat would stay calm and enjoy being there, and the dog would be the one so disturbed. Anyways, this is spooky back here too. It's spooky. But anyways, if you see something, tell me in the comments, because I might miss it. But not saying that my area is haunted, but you never know. But anyways, so the Walsinghams were really disturbed after what happened to their dog, but what made them more disturbed is the activity just kept increasing, and in a bad way. Like when dusk would hit, that's when they would hear like moaning and groaning and screaming from like unknown things, shouting. And it's like, it wasn't any of their family members. They was like, what is happening in this house? And so it was one day that his wife Amelia was sitting in front of her mirror, and I guess she was like, you know, fixing herself, whatever, and she saw a hand on her shoulder. Like, she could see it from the corner of her eye, like that. She could see the hand. But when she looked in the mirror, there was nothing. Not the hand, nothing behind her, nothing. So she was like, okay, that's odd. And then Mr. Walsingham was out in the garden, and I guess he was walking back towards the house, and he could see footprints forming right before his eyes, right in front of him. But there was no human there to make those prints. It was just him. So he was like, okay. So they knew there was something going on. They knew there was a haunting. But what nipped it in the bud was when all the terror started. This is the pure terror. Was they were having their dinner, and I'm assuming Thanksgiving dinner. They invited a couple of people over to join them, their friends. They were sitting there, they were eating, and they heard noises upstairs, like groaning and, you know, the typical what you would expect. Okay, kitty cat, it's all good. What you would expect. She likes to hang around. And then one of the guests noticed there was a red stain on the tablecloth. It's like, wait, what is that red stain? And they saw red liquid dripping from the ceiling. And they looked up and they were like, oh my God, what is that? So Mr. Walsingham got up with his son, ran upstairs, opened the door. They were scared they were going to find something like bad. I mean, if you see blood dripping from the floor above you, you would think, oh my God, what's happened? So when they opened the door, they were expecting to see something horrific, but they didn't. What they wound up seeing was nothing. What he had to do was he had to pull the carpet up. And when he pulled the carpet up, he saw the red liquid all over the ground. So he took samples, he had it tested. Turns out it was human blood. I'm just saying, it was human blood. So that was it for them. They were like, okay, no, this ain't happening. No, we're leaving. We're going back to our other home. Forget this place. Screw it. They left. Okay. They leave, and after they left, the house remained empty. It was, no one wanted to go near it, because I guess that type of story spreads like wildfire. So other people's gonna be like, no, I'm not going to that house. I don't want to go to that house. So naturally, I mean, I wouldn't. So the next person to go to this house, and it was on a bet, he betted his friend. His name was Horace Gunn. He betted his friend that he could stay all night in this house with no problems for, I guess, amount of money or whatever. And so he spent the night in the house, and this was what happened to him. In his own words, I've got it up. He said, I had been in the house about an hour and nothing had happened. It was just beginning to get dark, and I thought that I would set about lighting a fire. Though I do not consider myself an expert in this art, I was very much surprised at being absolutely unable to do so. My matches went out one after the other, as if blown out by a strong drought or whatever. Once, when I had succeeded in lighting a piece of paper, it only smoldered for a few seconds and then went out. This was bad enough, as I had to give up the idea of a cheerful blaze to keep me company, but to my disgust, I found that my lamp would not light either. It was as if it were filled with water instead of oil. It was now quite dark, and whilst I was looking about for some means of getting a light, there came a terrible yell of pain from underneath the house, and this was the signal for an outbreak of the most hideous and devilish noises. There were shouts, screams, groans, laughter, thumping, and the continual running up and down stairs as of several heavily shod people. My hair bristled. I stood by the window practically paralyzed with fear, and I had then been able to control my limbs. I would have fled from the house. If he had been able to control his limbs, he would have fled from the house. I would have lost my wager and 100 like it rather than stay in that haunt of fiends. Then suddenly, the noises stopped. Complete silence fell on the place, but far from reassuring me, this made matters worse, for now I dreaded the silence even more than I had the ghostly noises. All the time I listened and listened for something. Now and then I thought I heard soft footsteps drawing near me, but it was nothing. This waiting and dreading was far worse than the pandemonium of terror. I did not have long to wait for the next move, for in the darkness there suddenly appeared a small spot of grayish light on the wall opposite of me. It grew larger and larger, altering in shape until it assumed the outline of a human head, at the same time losing its flatness. Soon it was a real hand floating in the air. Its hair was long and gray and matted together, and it had a deep and jagged cut in one temple. The whole face indicated suffering and misery. The eyes were wide open and gleamed with an unearthly fire, while they seemed to direct their gaze upon me. The head moved about the room, but always the eyes were turned in my direction. Then it vanished, but there broke out in the room a loud and awe-inspiring wail as of several souls in anguish. I thought then that I could see indistinct shapes flitting about, and mustering up all my courage, I attempted to pass them and gain the door, but as I reached it, I felt my ankles seized in a firm grasp. I was thrown down and felt fingers grasping my throat. Oh my gosh. And at this point, Mr. Gunn's story ceases. He was found by his friends next morning, unconscious, on the floor by the door and bearing on his throat the marks of long, thin fingers with cruel, curved nails was on his throat. So, with that being said, that was the end of that house. It got demolished. It got torn down. But my thing is, it attacked him. It attacked Horace, but why not? Like, it never physically attacked like that the family, but it did show itself with blood and all of that craziness. But, you know, it got demolished, but they found out that there were human bones all underneath the house once it was torn down. And Mr. Walsingham actually had found some bones on the property when they had got there, or a few days before they moved in, and he didn't know if it was like animal or human. So what he wound up doing was, it said that he threw it in a lime kiln and he just burned the bones. So I don't know if him burning the bones, like he disturbed someone's bones or whatever, and they got extremely mad at him, or what. But it's really interesting. There used to be also, before that house was built, in the spot where it was built, there was an inn that was like, you know, people would go to, and it didn't have a good reputation. It was like a roadside inn, and they are assuming that people may have gotten murdered at that inn, and then their bones and stuff, like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. It's a weird story, but it was a really creepy story. And in time for Thanksgiving, why not make Thanksgiving scary? But even though this isn't scary, but anyway, I'm giving you a creepy story time, and I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was a really interesting story, and I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. I need to research and then touch base with you about it to see if it was actually a true story. I mean, they have names, they have a place, but we don't know if it was true. Now that I've told my story time, I can take you on a little creepy pathway adventure down the pathway that I cannot stand. So, let's see if we can do that. Okay. I'm going down this path, okay? Let me show you. See, this is what it looks like. Okay? It's just a pathway. There's a lot of stuff right there. There is a company that's next door, but I won't show them because whatever. I'm not giving away my location, but okay. So this is the path. I know my feet are loud. I apologize for that, but look. It's creepy. It's just creepy. I featured it in my past videos as like an intro, but I don't know, you guys, like, there's something about the place that gives me the creepy vibes, and you know, it might not even be anything creepy about it, but it is creepy, to say the least. I don't go down here a lot because this pathway belongs to our neighbors. They kind of own this part, but we walk it. I mean, I have walked it, and I featured it in some of my films for school. In one of the scenes, it was kind of cute, but yeah, it just curves around and it goes into like a road, but you can see, like, it's just a wide area, but it's a long path, and then the tree, like, the woods go back really far. I'm not gonna go any further because I'm kind of creeped out, but yeah, there's a lot. And then there's another area that's kind of creepy that I can show you maybe. Oh no, my feet's loud. I'm sorry. It's just, I've not done spirit box down here because, you know, and I might not do spirit box down here because what happened with the cemetery deal, I don't know. I'm kind of scared to do another spirit box because that one was extremely intense, okay? But I do want to find Bigfoot, so maybe I could try to find Bigfoot. Would that be fun to do instead of paranormal? Or do you want paranormal? Let me guess, you're gonna want paranormal. Hey, Bigfoot is kind of like paranormal too. I mean, in a way. I mean, you would think. That's my dog. He's just with me. It's okay. He don't really go down that path though, I noticed. But this, I'm fixing to pass something. You're gonna be like, oh my god, it's a mound. Hang on. That's not a mound. We made that. It's for shooting. But we haven't done it in a long time, so it's kind of like went down. It's not as big as it used to be. I don't know. But anyways, so this is the other pathway, and it's we have two pathways. So this one goes this way, and I featured this in one of my films for Soul 2. But it's not as creepy as that other one, I will say. I get vibes down the other one. Let me know in the comments if you get vibes down that other one too. I know my feet are so loud on these leaves. But yeah, it just goes to an open field. Nothing dramatic. It's real creepy. This is where I caught like something. In one of my videos I posted on YouTube, I forget which one, it was in this area. I could hear something walking, but never could catch it. So, we're going to try to find Bigfoot. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try to find Bigfoot. I think that would be fun to do, and something easy for me to do. I could just set up a camera, like a deer cam. Mind you, I've not had any signs of Bigfoot, but you never know. We might catch one. I don't know. I need to go to my grandma's and see if I can find one because she had, well, my cousin had an experience, which I've done told that story. It's in one of my past videos, the search for Bigfoot. I tell that story in there, so you can go and check that out. But he encountered this weird, like, I don't know, two big things. They were black and hairy and, I don't know, weird. He's been a hunter since he was 16, so he kind of found it a little disturbing because he's never seen anything like that. But anyways, it's chilly out here. It's kind of cold, so I'm gonna go back in where it's warm and get on with my day. But I wanted to give you guys some kind of something since I'm not really doing much I mean, I'm busy with Thanksgiving and dinner and cooking and all of that. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you like the creepy story, and until next time, peace.